In the world of Splatoon, created by Nintendo, the primary biological substance for the characters known as Inklings and Octolings is ink, which they use for various functions, including combat, movement, and even communication. The idea of whether these characters engage in activities similar to human masturbation and what the substance would be in such scenarios is an intriguing question. Let's delve into the theoretical aspects of whether Inklings and Octolings might squirt semen or ink in these contexts, exploring both the biological and narrative implications within the Splatoon universe. Biological basis: ink versus semen. In the game, Inklings and Octolings are depicted as cephalopod-like creatures with the ability to transform between humanoid and squid octopus forms. Their primary biological feature is their ability to generate and use ink, a substance used for combat, marking territory, and navigating their environment. This ink serves multiple functions. Combat. Ink is used as a weapon in turf wars, where it can be fired from weapons to cover surfaces and impede opponents. Movement. Ink allows Inklings to swim through it quickly in their squid octopus forms. Communication. Ink is used in various in-game contexts for signaling and expressing creativity, such as in the creation of artwork and graffiti. Semen in a human context. In human biology, semen is a reproductive fluid produced by male individuals to carry sperm for the purpose of sexual reproduction. Semen has specific components including sperm cells, seminal plasma, and various enzymes and nutrients designed to facilitate fertilization. For Inklings and Octolings, the analogy to human semen would require a substance with a similar role in reproduction or sexual activity. However, in Splatoon, there is no explicit evidence or narrative suggestion that ink serves a reproductive purpose. The ink in Splatoon is not portrayed as having reproductive functions. Rather, it's primarily a tool for battle and expression. Theoretical possibilities. Ink as a reproductive substance. One theoretical framework is to propose that the ink produced by Inklings and Octolings could, in a hypothetical context, function similarly to semen if the narrative of Splatoon were expanded to include reproductive behaviors. In this framework, the ink could theoretically carry reproductive material akin to sperm, but this is purely speculative and not supported by the current Splatoon lore or mechanics. Semen as a separate substance. Another possibility is that Inklings and Octolings might produce a different substance for reproductive purposes, separate from the ink used in combat. This substance would be analogous to human semen, but distinct from the ink they use. If such a substance existed, it would likely be a specialized fluid that functions in ways similar to how semen supports reproduction in humans, including carrying genetic material for fertilization. Narrative and thematic considerations. Nintendo's Splatoon series maintains a playful and family-friendly tone, focusing on competitive gameplay and vibrant, colorful environments. The concept of masturbation or reproductive activities is not explored in the game, and the ink is never portrayed as a reproductive fluid. Introducing such themes would shift the narrative tone significantly and is not aligned with the game's design and target audience. Furthermore, the game's portrayal of ink as a versatile substance for combat and artistic expression aligns with its thematic focus on creativity and competition rather than biological reproduction. The game's universe is designed to be whimsical and non-sexual, emphasizing gameplay mechanics and character interactions over deeper biological or reproductive explanations. Cultural and design choices. Nintendo's design choices for Splatoon reflect a desire to create a unique, engaging, and non-explicit game. The idea of Inklings and Octolings engaging in reproductive behaviors involving ink would be contrary to the intended family-friendly nature of the series. Therefore, any exploration of these themes is purely speculative and not supported by the existing game content or the developer's publicly stated vision for the franchise. Conclusion. To summarize, while the question of whether Inklings and Octolings might squirt semen or ink during activities like masturbation is an interesting thought experiment, it is not supported by the current lore or design of Splatoon. Ink serves as a multifunctional substance for combat, movement, and expression, and there is no evidence to suggest that it also functions in a reproductive capacity. The game's narrative and thematic elements focus on creativity, competition, and playful interactions rather than exploring complex biological processes. In any theoretical discussion about potential reproductive substances in the Splatoon universe, one could imagine a separate substance for reproduction or maintain the idea that ink serves all biological functions. However, such concepts remain speculative and outside the scope of the game's established narrative and design.